Welcome back to the Startup Show. I'm John Biggs. Today's show we have Torrey Leonard. He's CEO of Thoughtly. Thoughtly is a looks like an AI agent company for calls.
Yeah, that's correct. So what we
Yeah.
do is essentially we build AI agents that are capable of making all of your inbound and outbound phone calls. So anything you can train a human agent to do in your current contact centers, we do it in the same way, and we would say even better using AI agents.
Okay. So tell me what's like different. I mean, I've seen a couple of these folks. What do you think is your secret sauce here?
Yeah, so the way we look at it is there's sort of three aspects to any voice AI agent platform. First, there's the brain, which is that language model, so interaction with sort of like an open AI model, for example, like ChatGPT. And then there's the voice, which is what we would say is the mouth, and that's the voice model. So we're using 11 Labs for our product, for example. But those don't really change between platforms. So every platform you look at, we're all kind of using the same brains, like Llama 3, GPT 4.0, and then the same voices. So 11 Labs, PlayHT, doesn't really matter. But what
Mhm.
makes Thoughtly different is we are the hands and the fingers of your AI call center. So basically, throughout the workflow, your human agents who are working currently in contact centers, they have a lot of things that they need to do during, before, and after the call. If you just build a voice agent that's not capable of doing things during that call workflow, then it's not really replacing or even augmenting your current existing call center solution. And so Thoughtly enables you to make mid-call API requests, insert things into Salesforce and HubSpot after the call, grab data prior to the call from different CRMs that you're using, and even book appointments on calendars, like your Calendly link that you might have. So it's these sort of advanced automations and even more that we roll out each and every day, and integrations that sort of make us like a combination between ChatGPT on the phone and Zapier.
Okay. So it's basically like, so if the person calls in and says, "Hey, I have a problem with my account," you can connect to the account, say, "Oh, well, you owe X, Y, and Z," or you have an outage or something like that, and it's more interactive. Is there a situation where you could do something a little more complex, like, I don't know, like vet a potential investor or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. We can really do anything during, before and after the call. So the example you just mentioned, the first one, you could, for example, during the Thoughtly workflow, you could ask for, say, a policy number. That then becomes a variable in your Thoughtly workflow. So then in the second node after that, you could make a request and you could put in, the API request headers, for example, that policy number, or put it in the body. Then the response from that, you now populate a bunch of new fields. So these are like the name of the caller, how much they owe, right? And then you can reference those throughout the conversation. If you wanted to, say, vet an investor, this happens a lot. We have people who work in like real estate and other kind of financial services where they are looking for new investors or screening people who call in. Those sorts of companies, they're using Thoughtly every day, and there's nothing really stopping them. It just depends on sort of the integrations that they want on the back end of the call. And if it's a bit more complex, like you want a call center agent to sort of have those theoretical hands, then that's where Thoughtly becomes more powerful.
How do you get one of these agents to be like a human agent, right? I mean, the whole like Gary V startup mentality, or like the SaaS mentality, was always like the customer's always right. If the customer doesn't like you, then you send them like a bottle of wine and a Mets hat or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get that sort of touch into this workflow, or is that not applicable here anymore?
No, I mean, it certainly is. So there's a few ways we do it. First of all, you already likely have a contact center. And so you might have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of hours of recordings. You can actually take all of those and put that data into your what we call Genius database. And then this database is accessible by the language model. So it can see sort of like the ways in which your human agents have previously interacted with your customers prior. And so if you're already delivering that exceptional customer service experience, they're going to use similar language throughout the conversation. The second way is, of course, you can script your agent to say whatever you want, just like you would script a human agent. And so if you provide it with the ability to kind of add these natural touches and, customers always right, then so be it. Like the agent will act that way. The third is a feature we actually just released this week, which we're super excited about, which is what we call training and rules. And so by actually speaking with the agent, you can train it based on positive and negative responses. So if the agent responds back and says something like, "You're wrong, John," then maybe customer's always right. You can reply to your agent and say, no, John's right. Let's just be nice to him, send him a bottle of wine. Next time the agent interacts with that customer or any customer, it'll keep that in mind and actually act the way that you've told it to.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest question, right? So, will first off, will people accept that they hear this robotic voice on the other end? And obviously, that's going to get better. And second off, can you get that level of I don't know, customer service with these agents? It seems like the latter is true, but the first, how long before people are going to stop hanging up when they hear like, oh, hello, is anybody there? That kind of thing when these fake robots are call you.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think a big differentiator between us and sort of legacy platforms from even a year ago is our agents sound and behave very much like a human. And I listen to calls all the time from our customers. The other day, there was a 15-minute long phone call, and the person was interested in the company, our customers' offerings that they have on their website. And they spoke about it for 15 minutes. It is ultra low latency. Every response was nuanced and engaged with the way that the customer was talking. So if they finish a sentence, like, they say, you know what I mean? The AI wouldn't just say something pre-scripted. It would say, yeah, I know what you mean. And we can offer that and that kind of thing. So when people are talking to a Thoughtly agent, most of the time they don't even know that they're speaking to an AI. And a big part of this is like most of our customers, they're looking for something, looking to purchase something, looking to get, a Medicare plan, for example. And so, the latter of not speaking to this AI is that they wouldn't get what they're looking for. And so kind of the end goal here is you want to stay on the line so you can get this service that you're after.
Mm-hmm. What have been some of the challenges with this? Obviously there are a couple of these things floating around, right? So how are you beating competition in this case?
Yeah, it's a great question. The biggest thing for us is we are sitting at a really interesting intersection of different types of services that are currently on the market. So we're really good friends with a lot of these developer tool platforms. One such that I recommend is Vappy, for example. And their CEO, Jordan, great friend of mine, they have a totally different market than the market that we're going after. And anyone who is a developer or an engineer, or you're a company that has a large engineering team, that's the kind of tool you would use. But our customers are typically anyone from a solo owner operator of a $50 million company all the way to a much larger enterprise company that doesn't have the sort of huge engineering bandwidth you would need in order to build out agents that are fully integrated into your platform. And so that's the company we're after. The other side of that is, aside from the fact that we're not a developer tool, is we have that self-service aspect of our platform. This is not common. In fact, most legacy platforms, like from Five9 to Poly to Replicant, they don't offer a self-serve feature at all. And you have to just kind of interact with your CS team over at that company in order to change things about your script. We let you set it all up for you first, but then you can go manage it and play with it as much as you want.
What do we do with the humans who you're replacing? You have calls. You're basically shutting down a lot of call centers.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I don't think that we're shutting down call centers. I think that we're making it so that humans in call centers can do things that, in my opinion, and I think in our customers' opinions, can do things that are more interesting. So the biggest example of that is when it comes to anything that involves licensing, we are an AI agent. Our AI agents are not licensed, in the United States to be able to, sell you a house or issue you Medicare or healthcare plan. And so we really do that tier one triage where we collect information, get data about and on the customer, put it all into a Zendesk ticket, shoot it over to a human. And now the human can say, okay, I see what you're calling about. This is kind of your demographic. Now let me make a plan recommendation based on all of this information. We can't do that. We won't do that. It's just a regulatory thing. And that's a great thing for humans to do. So licensing is huge. The other thing is on the sales side. So a lot of our companies, the customers using Thoughtly, they will use us to do sort of that like SDR automated, sales outreach. And so you fill out a form on their website, then Thoughtly will call you and try to schedule an appointment. you're scheduling an appointment then with the same people who would have just been calling you before. So now the companies that we're working with, they haven't fired anybody. They've just transitioned people who were previously just dialing all day and getting the phone shut on them into closers. So they're making more money, and they're a lot happier, because if I were on a sales team, I'd much rather be a closer than kind of doing that cold outreach.
How's the investment climate for these sorts of startups? AI, I think, is kind of the hot thing right now, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. So we've raised $3 million from a Graycroft expansion, some others, and it's interesting. Like every day, we get a new cold outreach from a VC firm, and people are very clearly interested in what we're building. They want to get insights on it. They want to build their own market maps, and so they just want to talk to me about the market. But obviously, I only have so much time in one day, and so I can't engage with everybody as much as I'd like to. But it's definitely really hot building in AI, and the reason why I think that is, and I think this is true, is that AI agents are sort of the future of business and workflow automation. Really, like language models have unlocked so much potential for businesses, whether it's like SEO and other marketing automation, or even one day podcasts, right? Like you and I could just kind of text each other, and then a whole 30-minute podcast could technically be generated, right? The video.
Technically, let's not go that far.
Let's not go that far. Yeah. I'm thinking like 10 years down the road, there's definitely like the more money we funnel into this sector, the more kind of things will be automated. So you can be sitting on a beach and, do a podcast with me. Right. I think it's the future of business.
Okay. Yeah. It's a fascinating space. What are you guys building next? What's coming next for Thoughtly?
Yeah, really, I mentioned that the biggest thing for us is we're the hands and arms of your AI call center. And so big thing for us is just building more integrations that our customers are asking for, different calendars people use, different CRMs they use, but also enterprise integrations. People are asking for, along the lines of, call routing, lots of features like that, but also just kind of scaling up our operations. We just launched about 2 weeks ago, kind of came out of stealth. And now here we are hitting the mainstream, getting the word out to people who are currently using either no call center, no call automation, or have those human call centers that they're looking to augment.
What did you guys do to get the word out? I guess you're got down in San Francisco, is that right?
No, so we're in New York.
Okay.
We were previously in SF for a little bit. So we're doing a lot of things. We have Mary is on our marketing team, and she's crushing it, getting the word out there. We're going to be at some awesome events, so looking forward to seeing a lot of people in person, along with, of course, partnerships with our customers and just showing people like this is what we're attaining these great KPIs with these customers. We do the same thing with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and in terms of media or whatever outreach, what are you guys doing? That's something that a lot of the startups that we talk to don't really have a strategy for.
Yeah, media outreach is this is not my wheelhouse. It's funny. Like this is what I have. Mary's our head of marketing. She's working on this. Do you have any recommendations?
Honestly, it's going to be tough because of AI stuff, because everybody and their dog is doing AI right now. Yeah, I mean, media's in a really weird spot. Like I'm probably one of the only people in the world who actually cares to give a startup like 15, 20 minutes to talk about themselves, which is kind of weird. So there you go.
We need more Johns.
Yeah, we need more. We need to scale me. What you need to do is you make an SDR of me that just basically asks like pithy questions and then records it. Yeah, basically that's
we could build a Thoughtly where you call in, startup founders can call in and just talk to John for 20 minutes, and then you take that transcript and make it an audio podcast.
Yeah, I'd worry it wouldn't be be distracted or angry or grumpy enough. Maybe you can add
that in.
You can blend that in. Yeah. All right. So the website is thought.ly, Thoughtly. You guys are in healthcare, real estate, insurance, all kinds of stuff. So this is a pretty heavy duty project. It looks like it's working pretty well.
Yeah. The best use case for us is any company that has very advanced or unique scripting requirements. That's what I often say. So if you are a business owner or someone who's working at a business and you're in the innovation arm of the company, and you understand that the script that you currently have your human agents doing is a huge core part of your customer experience, and you don't want to sort of like relegate and change that off with some other company, we will take that and turn it into an AI for you. Basically, the snap of a finger with the members of our team. So if it's unique, if your script is kind of a big core part of your business and you don't want to change that, it's been working for you for decades, then we won't change it. We'll just make AI do the talking over the phone.
All right, very cool. Thought Lee, Torrey Leonard, thank you for joining us. This has been pretty cool.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Right. This has been The Startup Show. I'm John Biggs. We'll see you next episode.